God's message in the stars. Give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. When you observe the canopy above us, the ceiling, the sky, you're looking at the first book. You're looking at the first scroll of intelligence. And this is why the 19th Psalms says that the heavens declare the glory of God and the firmament showing his handiwork. That is the sky. That is the movement of the planets. That is the construction of the constellation and the stars that make them up. The equinoxes and the solstices, just the academics itself of ancient astronomy is the voice of Exeter, the voice of God. This is why when you observe in the scriptures, the book of Revelations, chapter 12, it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven. So this is the firmament. This is above us. This is the movements of the stars and the planets and the sun and the moon. It says a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That is the constellation of Virgo as she sits at the beginning of the ring of constellations known as the Zodiac. This is why it says that she was clothed with the sun. And every equinox within the fall equinox season, it is the spring equinox in the south. This constellation is clothed with the sun. The sun is inside of the constellation of Virgo during the time of the fall equinox in September. And the scripture goes on to say, and the moon was under her feet. That happens every month. This is the science of astronomy, ancient astronomy specifically. Then it actually says that upon her head was a crown of 12 stars, which is symbolic of the crown or the ring of constellations again, known as the Zodiac belt constellations. 12 officially that you know of. This represents the 12 stars, the crown of 12 stars upon her head. And she being with child, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered. So she was to give birth. She was pregnant. She was ready to break the water sack in time, and the child would come out. This is why when you observe royal family, the movement of the sun through these 12 recognized constellations and the 12 recognized gates, this is the movements of the heavens in story form. When you understand the meaning of the sun, that is why in religion S-U-N and S-O-N becomes one. This is why the Holy Bible, Helios, Biblios, is the solar book. This is why you understand that the angels and the Christ and certain holy ones have the halo behind of their head, which is really the sun. S-O-N, S-U-N. So at the same time, when we observe the movement of the sun, and it's not sun worship, it is understanding the science and the chemistry and the whole physics of the solar orb, the Sol Amon, the Ra Amon. So as the sun is in the constellation of Virgo, as it comes out of her as if it was being born through her legs, it goes into the constellation known as Libra. And Libra is the scale. Libra represents the ruler. Libra specifically is the symbol that you see with Ma'at. You see the symbol with Anpu, known as Anubis. You see the symbol of the scales with Michael, the archangel, because it represents the ruler. She was to give birth. She gave birth to the scales, but the scales represents the ruler. because the third verse says, "And there appeared another wonder in heaven, still looking up in the firmament, in the sky. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns upon his head. And his tail drew a third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born." And this is why you see the constellation of Scorpio. You see the constellation of what? Scorpio, literally looking like a dragon with its mouth open, ready to devour the scale. The scale represents the child of the woman that was clothed with the sun, that had the moon under her feet, according to the science which the ancient ones would have observed. This is the handwriting of the Almighty now, and the ancient ones would have observed this handwriting and would have created monuments and created temples and pyramids and other such to connect with this ancient understanding, and eventually created scripts and writings and glyphs, meduneter, and would have put them on walls and on papyri and in books, in story form, in allegorical form, and prophecy which will be fulfilled in history. Why? Because it is already written in the stars. So the very same great dragon that stood before the woman, ready to devour her man-child as soon as it was born, he had to get his judgment as well, which is well written in the stars and written in the scriptures. Join us in Ethiopia from the 29th of December 2025 to the 7th of January 2026 for our Ethiopian Christmas tour. From the city to the south, from Addis Ababa to Shashamai, 10 days and 10 exciting nights experiencing the land of origins. This is an amazing tour, compact, concise, and precise. It includes the parks, Entoto Park, Friendship Park, Unity Park, the museums, the Science Museum, National Museum, the Red Terror and the Addis Ababa Museum, plus the Addis Ababa University Palace of Emperor Haile Selassie I, which is also a museum, Maskell Square, Menelik's palaces, plus so much more. Battle of Adwa Museum. Then southwards to Sidamo, we will visit the residence of the Emperor, the sulfur baths, and make sure you bring your hiking gear, as we will be hiking to the waterfalls. This tour is all inclusive. Your meals, your accommodations, transportation, plus your security, all provided for. For a limited time, we are offering a 30% discount on this already economical tour. Only $1,680 with a 50% down payment will register you for the Ethiopian Christmas tour. For more information, to see our itinerary, or to book your space, email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. That's priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Payments can also be made utilizing PayPal, Cashapp, Zelle, and much more. The Ethiopian Christmas tour, from the city to the south. I will see you there. And we're very thankful to all of our family and friends that support us in any way, whether it's by purchasing our products, our books, our documentaries, our tours, whether it's to support us by contribution, whatever the case is. Those who enroll in our courses, those who purchase from our international holistic whole food store, those who subscribe to the Tiger's Nest, and all the subscribers to our magazines, Kidemi, and of course the Ambassador's Pen. We are very thankful for all your support. and encouragement. And those who would like to make a free will contribution or a donation, you are free to do that by utilizing the Cashapp, the Zelle, or even PayPal with our email, priestisaacinstitute at gmail.com. But of course, the link will be in the description and also within the comments. So as we continue, the serpent, the great dragon that stood before the woman ready to devour her man-child, which is the scale. But according to Revelation chapter 6, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Check this good. Now many philosophies consider that this man on the white horse is the Messiah, and he came, and he had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth to conquer the wicked. Now, interestingly, that the next constellation in the zodiac belt is the constellation of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is interesting as he has a bow and an arrow, just like the Messiah in Revelation chapter 6. What is more interesting here is that there is a crown in front, directly in front, literally at the feet of Sagittarius. And this crown is known as the Southern Crown. Now, there are only two crowns in the whole heavens, the Southern Crown and the Northern Crown. And the Southern Crown is given to the constellation again that we know as Sagittarius, which is the archer, the man with the bow and the arrow. So we have in Revelation 6 the Messiah that came on the white horse to conquer the beast, and he has his bow and arrow, so he's an archer and he's a king, and he was given a crown. So the ancients that looked up in the heavens, because the scripture says that John the Divine looked up into the heavens, and that is where he saw a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. But the great Sagittarius, according to Revelation chapter 6, came on a white horse. And this is why the next constellation after Sagittarius is the unicorn, known as Capricorn. Many people consider it a goat because of other ancient philosophies, but the more ancient sighting is that of the unicorn. The unicorn is mentioned in the Bible several times, the horse with the horn. So he did come on a white horse. That is why they are so close. And at the same time, the serpent holder is another constellation of key renown. And then above him is the constellation of Hercules, who has the next crown. In the next part, upcoming edition of this series that we will be doing, God's Message in the Stars, we will go deeper into the serpent holder and how he is related to the constellation called Hercules and the very same Sagittarius. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showing his handiwork. Join us in Ethiopia from the 29th of December 2025 to to the 7th of January 2026 for our Ethiopian Christmas tour. From the city to the south, from Addis Ababa to Shashamane, 10 days and 10 exciting nights experiencing the land of origins. This is an amazing tour, compact, concise, and precise. It includes the parks, Entoto Park, Friendship Park, Unity Park, the museums, the Science Museum, National Museum, the Red Terror and the Addis Ababa Museum, plus the Addis Ababa University Palace of Emperor Haile Selassie I, which is also a museum, Maskell Square, Menelik's palaces, plus so much more. The Battle of Adwa Museum. Then southwards to Sidamo, we will visit the residence of the Emperor, the sulfur baths, and make sure you bring your hiking gear as we will be hiking to the waterfalls. This tour is all inclusive. Your meals, your accommodations, transportation, plus your security, all provided for. For a limited time, we are offering a 30% discount on this already economical tour. Only $1,680 with a 50% down payment will register you for the Ethiopian Christmas tour. For more information, to see our itinerary, or to book your space, email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. That's priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. Payments can also be made utilizing PayPal, Cashapp, Zelle, and much more. The Ethiopian Christmas tour, from the city to the south. I will see you there. Blessed love, I am the Honorable Priest Isaac. I am an official priest within the realms of Rastafari of the Ethiopia Africa Black International Congress. I also hold a certification in the craft of Astronomy from Politecnico di Milano in Italy. Our universe and its makeup has always been an intriguing subject for humankind. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond the Earth's atmosphere. Ancient astronomy is similar, but pays special attention to the physical and spiritual values of stars, planets, moons, and other celestial objects. It also brings in the terrestrial component, being things on an earthly plane, such as plants, human organs, and connects them to the heavenly bodies. In this course, you will learn the makeup of various planets and stars, how to locate them in the night sky, along with their associated constellations. You will also be taught about the earliest civilizations known for their astronomical comprehension, namely Kush, also known as ancient Ethiopia, Kemet, called Egypt today, the Dogons, and the Bozos, as well as the civilization of Sumer. You will also learn about black holes, their nature and origin, as well as how the ancients viewed them. Ancient astronomy is the mother of archaeoastronomy and astrotheology. Both subject areas are covered by the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Sign up today. Visit our website, priestisaacinstitute.com, or email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com for more information.